bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day.
Welcome to the warm-up show on the beautiful Thursday, thankfully day on the December 15, 2022, 10 days before the Santa Claus go in your house. Of course, Senator will be busy that evening, but we have the co-host directly for the beautiful country of Thailand, co-friendship, following by the co-host for Toronto, downtown, Mr. ENORTAP, back in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. Great to be here again, Coach.
Always a pleasure to open the door with Mr. ENORTAP beside me. I can wait to hear a little bit more about what you're thinking, what happened last night. We have a couple of news to talk about. We have a lot of big subjects, as of course the 12 game we have tonight. 12 game on the program. Who is going to be 12-0? I'm not sure. We're going to be interesting if they listen to you. Possibly we get at 11-1. But not easy game, by the way. So, but that's the biggest thing.
No, they're hard. They're hard.
Not want to give up. You know, we have to give credit. You did 11-1 Tuesday night, but it was a bit easier because the matchup was a little bit easier to go there. But tonight, I'll be shocked if someone get 10-2. I'll be impressive about that one over there. But we have a few people to welcome Mr. ENORTAP from Taiwan. The Jeffrey Curry is in the house.
Hey, Jeffrey, welcome.
The moderator captain, Danny T, is in the house. Welcome aboard.
How's it going, Danny?
The update, Ozzy Calabro knocked the door already. Welcome aboard. By the way, his birthday is Sunday, Mr. ENORTAP, so it's confirmed.
Yes.
Your neighbor
last night
from Toronto downtown, Double J, is in the house. Welcome back, Double J.
Hey, Yachinto, how's it going?
And back in the house, Baderata, Mr. Lucky, Luciano, Graziano is going to be on the right in the next couple of minutes. Mr. ENORTAP, we're going to talk about this. Honestly, he was the only one get a 3-0 yesterday. Lucky to get that, maybe. But I have to give credit. He was the only
Yes,
one who took
lucky.
the chance to take Vancouver. So a good move from him. On the flip side, Danny and Fernando are lucky too because he had no jail at 3 games. So they are 0-3. But we're not going to mention that at all, Mr. Natal. By the way, we have a friend from Ottawa. Mr. Vinny James 000007. James Bond is in the house, Mr. Tap. By the way,
Hey,
he
Vinny.
texts me. He sent to us
He
like
was
he
at the
was at
game.
the game last night, Mr. Natap. So,
Yeah, I saw that. He sent me a picture as well. That
yeah,
was amazing. He had very good seats.
yeah, good for him. Glad to see Montreal Canadiens, his favorite team, the Ottawa won yesterday. Yeah, Overton from Finland is in the house.
Yarmo moi moi.
Do you know what the people do in Finland, Mr. Natap?
They try to win contests like
No, they
predictions that
send
we do.
all the snow in Sweden.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
they blew out all the snow to Sweden. They tried to get on the green side, and then they blew out everything on the Sweden part of this country over there. So that's what I heard about this. Steve G
So
in
that's
the
why
house
they hate
from
each other.
Denver, downtown Colorado, the
Hey,
Colorado
Stevie,
Eagles.
how's it going? How's it going, Steve?
Melissa, directly from South Florida, is in the house. Welcome aboard. Thanks to be a part of the show
Melissa,
tonight.
what?
Our friend from Lille Perro, Mr. Natap, the standing comic up,
Libero.
Richard Mullen.
Richard, how's it going?
Our friend from Halifax, Mr. Rick Bengal.
The men of all men. Rick, how's it going, buddy?
Our friend from Portugal, all around the world, Fernando Tavares.
How's it going, Fernando?
From Portugal to Utah, good afternoon, Mr. Ron with Kings 20.
How's it going, Ron? Welcome.
Our friend, Mr. William McLary.
Hey, William, how are you?
Welcome back, William. And moi. And then technically, my team is Montreal. Just cheer for Ottawa, send they out in the state. That's a great way to do that. What about our friend
Good save.
Randy
Good save,
M
Vinny.
is in
Good
the house?
save.
Yes, Jake Allen is between the pipe. Mr. Randy,
Hey,
thanks to
Randy.
be with us this afternoon. Now, from Missouri as of right now. Oh, she's in Missouri right now. So she's a traveling woman. And that's good for her to
No, a
traveling like that.
nomadic woman.
We hit the 10 minutes. We have 12 games, so I'm going to hurry up everything to pay a little bit more time to talk about the 12 game we have. First of all, what paid your attention last night in NHL, or maybe other news around the NHL? Can wait to hear what you have to tell us.
Well, we only had 3 games last night, right? So a few interesting things happened. I mean, we look at that Montreal-Ottawa game. I think it was really a tale of Montreal beating themselves. It was a tale of special teams in this case, especially the power play. Montreal went 0 for 3, Ottawa went for 2 for 7. And if you look at that second period, which ranks up there probably as one of their weakest of the year, you cannot. I think they had 5. They either had 5 for sure, maybe 6 penalties. So you're playing 10 to 12 minutes shorthanded the entire period. It's no surprise that Ottawa capitalized with the kind of players they have on the power play, and that was really the game. And it seems to be.
Super chat. We'll do it after that, Mr. Keep continuing what you're doing.
Thank you, Rick. And it seems to be the theme. We saw it in the Edmonton game. They took some ill-advised penalties. We saw it in another game where 5 of the 6 rookies took penalties. I mean, I know that's part of the learning process. They'll make mistakes, and we have to be patient with that. But by the same token, we shouldn't be surprised that our power play is not doing as well as it could. Actually, I'm very surprised that our penalty killing ranks up in the top 10 for sure. So that's what I took away from that game. The Detroit-Minnesota game, the outcome was not really much in doubt. I think Minnesota was the better team last night. What stood in my mind, I looked at this play quite a bit, and it was really that hit that Reeves put on Ronick yesterday. Even though I think that's part of the game and you should have your head up, I thought that there was ample opportunity for two things. Number one, he brought up his hands quite a bit, his arms, and brought it towards the head area, and that's what the NHL is trying to really cut down on. You could have made the exact same hit by hitting him in the upper body, in the upper chest area, and still send the same message. And number two, he did have there was time for him to sort of evade that whole issue right there, that entire hit, if he wanted to. But it sent a message. I don't think. I think Koronic tried to make an effort to come back in that game. I'm not sure if he did, and how he is today. But obviously, that's something to look for. And the Calgary, Minnesota game, or Vancouver game, this was a back and forth affair. Like, I think 10 of us were tied at 2-0 going into this game last night. And out of the 10 of us, 9 of us picked Calgary to win the game, and Luciano was the only one that had Vancouver going. So, of course, they're going to pull it right to the last minute, go to overtime, go to a shootout, wait for the last shot to be taken, and then finally Vancouver walks away with 2 very important points for them. Calgary at least comes out with a point, so that's okay. Spencer Martin here, coach. 38 saves, really kept Vancouver in the game. If it weren't for him, I think we would have seen, since Vancouver had jumped out to a 2-0 lead, we would have seen that common denominator yet again. Take a lead and then blow it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you were rooting for, it didn't happen for Vancouver this time. They were able to secure the 2 points.
Yeah, great comments about those 3 games. I think we're going to talk about Montreal Canadiens the next couple of minutes, but you're absolutely right about this. First of all, we want to welcome back Joseph Laham from Houston, Texas, and then we have our friend.
Hey, Joseph.
Our friend. I forgot. I didn't forget. I just dropped down the next one over there. He's on the highway right now. He's driving to go back home. His
Dixon.
food is on the table. He can wait to see Jennifer. I'm talking about Dixon Automotive. Group is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. But here we go. Super chat, Mr. Rick Bengal. Super chat, Mr. Rick Bengal. Thanks so much. Just some hype for Rick. Thanks so much. We got some tuna we can buy today. I can get some rice at the end of the day, Mr. ENORTAP, about this one there. So a lot of people talk each other. That's great. Don't forget, guys, click on the like. That'll be awesome. Besides that, first of all, I want to talk about the game Montreal Canadiens right here. Because, first of all, yesterday, I don't know where I put this back over there. I go back over there. But my video yesterday was about this one. Martin St. Louis upset and angry and frustrated and disappointed, everything like that. A little bit more happier this today at the press conference. But there was my app daily news I produce every single day. So my point to you back at this game, indiscipline and dark behavior. So I want to hear a little bit more what you think about the indiscipline Montreal. 7 penalties you just mentioned a couple of minutes ago. 6 of them coming for the rookies. 3 Doc. Then you have Whiteman. The only one was Whiteman. The rest is Jordan Harris at 3:45 at the end of the game. Jacky turned around the game, the momentum of the game when he got a penalty. The shot was only 8-1 Montreal Canadiens. After that, the momentum shift for the Montreal Canadiens. And I missed another one. But that's what we have right now. And I have another one.
Yeah, I think it was Jacky or I think it was Jacky.
Slavkovsky.
Oh, right,
Slavkovsky yes. With the hands. So my point to you is indiscipline cause the Montreal Canadiens. That's the problem you get Montreal. Now the Doc situation I want to mention to you. The fact he got a bench to a double minor. First of all, for interference against Kachuk. Martin Louis never mentioned about the referee. We know they have some call, but most of the call was very good against Montreal Canadiens. I had no problem for the referee last night overall. But the fact Doc, at 21 years old, slammed the door. He's not Ovechkin. He's not Crosby. He's only at 21 years old in NHL. Why or what you will do if Martin St. Louis bring him back right away in the third period? And do you feel comfortable the way he did, or you feel like it's not right to bring him back on the ice?
Well, I don't know. I think the way St. Louis has handled things has been first class all the way. I think he really respects the players, but he commands a certain discipline on the ice, and in this case here, we're not showing that discipline on a consistent basis. Like Martin St. Louis even commented. He goes, "I know our power play hasn't been clicking, but you know what? Lately, they've been actually passing the puck well. They've been attacking the net. Even the goal that they got yesterday, I think it was the first one, came like a second or two right after the penalty had expired. So technically, it was part of the. It was you can almost consider it a power play goal. So things are coming around that in that direction. It's just the discipline problem. They have to learn to, not cut their own legs. Now, it's one thing to lose to a better team, and you come out of that game saying, you know what, they kicked their butt today. We gave it all we had, but they're just a superior team to us. It's another thing to come out of that game and say, we killed ourselves. We took stupid penalties, and it caused us all this time that we had to kill. It's a momentum killer, because I thought the first period was all about Montreal, and the third period, especially after the halfway mark, was all about Montreal as well. And if that middle period had just been a little bit more disciplined, this game would have been ours.
Yeah. But do you feel they should bench him or not?
No, I don't think so. I think it definitely merits a discussion between the coach or coaches and the player, and they have to show that, obviously, do you understand what's happened here? Do you understand why we're upset here? And hopefully they don't repeat that behavior again. Now, if they consistently go out there and keep getting the same kind of silly penalties, then that's a different
So
story.
which
Then
one?
obviously, so I say in this case, it didn't deserve for him to sit him down. I don't think so. I know it
But
looks
now, if
stupid,
Cody
and
does it, what do you do now? You cannot bench him anymore. So what he did yesterday, he cannot bench anybody anymore, because we said, wait a minute, Kirby Doc did it. Kirby Doc did that. So now for the rest of the year, if he bench someone, is going to make a bad message inside the locker room, because now he's going to create some jealousy. And look what he did.
it's got to be a
Kirby Doc favorite players, and me, I'm
yeah.
rent Pitlick, and I get paid off because of that part of it. You can see what Martin St. Louis is.
No, I understand, but it has to be a learning moment initially. And then, like I said, if it's a consistent behavior where Kirby Doc, let's say tonight, goes out there and gets another stupid penalty, then you sit him down and say, we talked about this. I thought you understood. At this point, you're costing us the game, or you're putting us in very difficult situations. So sit your butt on the bench, and I'll let you know when you can come back on if I want you on. But to do it initially, okay, it wasn't a good penalty, obviously. It didn't send a good message, but it has to be a learning moment first, and then punitive down the road if it's repetitive.
Okay, so now Kirby Duck have 2 strike, and then the rest of the team has 0 strike. So if another player does the same thing, now you're going to penalize. You cannot penalize that player again, because you need to wait 2 strike before he get penalized about that. For me, it's a really bad message, a coaching for Martin St. Louis last night. Again, it's for me, it's what I'm disagreeing with Martin St. Louis. He's thinking only to win, 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 win. We have nothing to win this year. We have nothing. It's a time to build them better, to understand you think you can do, understand what you think you cannot do. And this moment, you have nothing wrong to bench him the first 7 minutes of the first period, the third period, or the 10 minute, to leave the message for the rest of the team. You do this early, not later. I learned quickly you cannot react after that. So Martin said we have a listen, we are in the society, we just, oh, it's okay because it's a millennium, we cannot go adversity on that. It's a great moment last night to bench him. Imagine Scotty Bowman, he benched Guy Lafleur. Imagine in the past, Mario Tremblay bench players. Like, it's time. Like the Team Canada, Mr. ENORTAP, 2 days ago, they told the players they got caught of the team, right? So 6 of them, Owen Beck and Kidney, and I can go. To protect them, you cannot talk to the media. So the media reporter said, look, guys, we are sorry. The players are on the other hotel and they are not available to talk to them. What the heck is going on? How the kids can learn adversity, challenge to face to, because one day and the next 5-6 years, they're going to face to adversity. In the past, and 90s and 2000, 2005, the player get cut at 6 a.m., the reporter put the mic in front of their face already and to ask a question. It's a learning process. That's part of the life. If you don't prepare the kid to be adversity at a young age, they're going to fall the wall and they have no solution. They're going to give up. That would be a good moment. That's how I felt me yesterday. Martin said, you know what, Kirby Doc, you're not having skin. You're not the best player in NHL. You're going to be penalized right there. And that would pass the message for everybody in the locker room. Because I said, wait a minute. If I do the same thing, I'm going to get penalized right there. That was a good opportunity for Martin St. Louis. Leave a message inside this team locker room. You're not going to pin, because now it's a selfish penalty, and the team pay price because of one specific player. If you work as a team, but you penalize the player because of his action last night. If it's a mistake, Kovacevic make a big mistake on the first goal. He pinched at the blue line opening time. He should realize. I always said the player, take a picture. If you don't see 3 players in front of you, 3 players in front of you, more at 4, you're going to get caught because somehow someone's behind you. So Kovacevic punch over there. You cannot pinch him. It's a mistake. It's just part of the learning process. But yesterday, Kirby Doc, it was a great opportunity to sit down because it's a team concept. It's not a selfish players like Kirby Doc yesterday. He learned from that. I understand that. No, but you have to get some consequence about that.
I know. I understand what you're saying, Coach. But, a couple things come to mind. And one of them is, like I said, make this first a learning moment, right? And not just one-on-one. I think the next day when you have a team meeting, a team practice, you can bring it up in such a way in front of the entire team also and say, we want to avoid those kind of penalties. Did you see what happened yesterday? We want to avoid that. So that way it avoids, well, how come he got an opportunity to play and now you're sitting me? That would avoid that, number one. Number two, I listened to an interview with Jacky, and he said every time he was in the minors, he said he never had a coach like Martin St. Louis. He would make mistakes, and he knew right after he made that mistake, that coach was going to put me at the end of the bench, and I wasn't going to see the ice the rest of the day. He says, you know what happened to me as I played the next time or the time after that? I held the stick a little bit tighter. I wanted to take gambles, but I never did because I was afraid I was going to be sat down again. He goes, that doesn't happen in Montreal. St. Louis is giving me confidence. And so I feel like I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play a little bit more crafty. I'm going to play a little bit smarter. Will I make mistakes? Yes, but at least I know he's not going to sit my butt at the end of the day. So I learned from that as well. And I don't think, like going back to Scotty Bowman, I mean, those days were different times and players reacted to situations differently. But, here we are.
But now you talk about different things right now. You talk about a mistake on the ice, right?
It's a mistake on the, well, wasn't it a mistake with Harris
at the end of the game? It's a mistake of mindset. It's a mistake of selfishness. That's the strength. It's controlling your emotion. It's to always in control of your emotion. You cannot talk to the ref. You cannot penalize the team because of your own selfishness. This what is about at the beginning of the season. You cannot penalize you make mistake. Everybody make mistake. But when you penalize the team because you try to impress the 20,000 people because versus the referee, and you punish your own team on that moment, that's what you penalize the players. That's what I said. That's the difference between a mistake and a behavior of Kirby Duck last night. That's the only thing I would say to you. There was a great opportunity for Martin Saint Louis step up, say, you know what? It's not matter the number. It's not matter your name in the back of your jersey. It could be Zuski, it could be Caulfield, it could be Jekai. It's not matter. If you use your own selfishness over the team, you're going to pay the price. That's it. That's all. That would be my at the beginning. You carry on a message inside the locker room, and you know what? It made the locker room better, stronger, and together, because you know what? He's not for raise anybody. He's just play the fair with everybody. And that's when you do that, you make the team better as a team together. For last night, at least for me, he missed a good opportunity to step up and to make the team as a unit, to get united or unit together for my eyes.
Fair point. I can understand that.
That's it. That's all, Mr. ENORTAP. I don't have nothing to add more. That's the beauty of what we do here at the Hockey National Show. We are already late, Mr. ENORTAP. Preview game only for Montreal at the Ducks. Pitlick is in. Pesada is out. Allen is in. Mr. ENORTAP. Big news. Alex Formenton signed in Switzerland. Formenton guy was with Ottawa. He's involved with the 2018 Team Canada situation. So be interesting. I have a lot of big contract to talk about this, Mr. ENORTAP. Arizona Coyotes are really close to trade the goaltender Velmelka. And maybe not this year, but the following year. Pay attention when I'm talking, because why him? But he's number 3 best goaltender right now in NHL. But why not? Because Arizona can get something solid in return. And one of the teams is going to be better, Mr. ENORTAP. He's going to be 32, 33 years old. So it's a good opportunity right now to trade him this year or the following year. His contract is really low, by the way. Columbus Blue Jacket guy, watch Toronto with Kavrikov. I think, or Edmonton Oilers, if some team can get Kavrikov, is a UF3, a shoot on the left side. We talk about Jordan Manson, but Kavrikov is a time he can get a Piljujavi, guys, is right now on the trade bait to get out quicker, faster, better for Edmonton Oilers. 3 team and race, Winnipeg Jet, Carolina Hurricanes, and I miss my other team. But it's 2 of them I have on 3. Carolina and Winnipeg Jet, and I think it was the New York Islanders, but I could be wrong about that one with them, Mr. ENORTAP.
Maybe.
Finally,
I still think
yes or no, deserve $8 million a plus or not?
Yes.
I would say no.
Definitely.
I will talk more about you tomorrow about this. We have no time to talk about this, Mr. ENORTAP. Pittsburgh, Jeff Petrie, bad news. Long-term
you like to drop bombs and move on, eh?
Yes, exactly. Anaheim, Stolan on the ER. Ottawa, Souza is on ER, minimum 2 weeks. Florida, game decision for Matthew Ketchuk for tonight, Mr. ENORTAP, if you want to know about this one over there. And we forgot about him, but he's going to be on the bus, Mr. ENORTAP. I'm talking about Luciano GRAZIANO! Here we go, Mr. ENORTAP. We have a few people pop up, Mr. ENORTAP. Let's go set to Mr. Rand Kirk is back in the house. Williams said coaching repeat offender is a toughness and usually account for 90% of down penalty. Renty Walkman is in the house. Welcome back. The 13th rookie is in the house. And we appreciate everybody to be with us tonight. Don't forget, please, to click on the likes. That'd be awesome. 12 game on the program, Mr. ENORTAP, tonight. And you have about 28 minutes, so that give you about 2.21 seconds for each game, Mr. ENORTAP. The clock is on.
Did the math. Oh, we start with the Habs right off the bat, eh?
Yeah.
you want to make this even harder. Okay.
Well, that would be Coach? Easier.
Yeah, it's easier. This should be an easy game. I think, the Anaheim, they continue their 5-game road trip here, going to Montreal. They're struggling. They've only have 3 wins in their last 15 games, and they've yet to score a goal on the road on this particular trip. They've been outscored 10-0 in the first 2 games that they've played so far. The Canadians have been they've gone 2-2-1 in their last 5 games. So they've been in each and every game, regardless of the opponent, which is great to see. Even though the Habs will be playing back to back here, as well as their 3rd game in 4 nights, that's not enough to give, I think, Anaheim any sort of optimism here. What I saw the other night, where they were totally dominated, it was an exhibition for me that these guys are tanking, and they're tanking hard. They look right now, to me, they look like absolutely the worst team in the league. Do you know that they're currently at a negative 60 goal differential?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Right. And that's crazy. Like, and they rank, if not at the bottom, near the bottom in almost every statistical category.
Yep. So right.
So this is not a game that Montreal should lose, especially like we spent 10 minutes right now discussing being disciplined and sending a message. What better way to come out against a team that's already defeated in their minds and come out and not just win by a score of 3-2, but I'm going to take Montreal to win this one by a score of 6-2.
6-2, 6-0 for Montreal Canadiens tonight. Again, the rookie,
Dostal.
Yeah, exactly what I said. I don't know. You saw an extra goal. I didn't see it, Mr. ENORTAP. I said 5-2 for me about this one over there. And they honestly, I thought you were going to say, oh, they look like the Montreal Canadiens last season.
Well, maybe when they had the other coach in, who shall remain nameless.
Dallas Eagles.
Oh, my goodness. What do we got here, Coach? Columbus.
Do you like the cheese, Mr. ENORTAP?
The cheese?
Yeah.
What cheese?
Do you
Which
like
cheese? What kind?
Well, you can have the white cheese. You can have some kind of cheese. The one thing we have musty cheese in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. Musty cheese is in the house. Welcome back, Musty.
Okay. Now I get what you're saying.
I knew we got you.
I thought you were, well, you were setting me up. Thank you. Oh, well. So here we got Columbus and Tampa Bay. Columbus continues a road trip through Florida tonight with a stop in Tampa to take on the Lightning. They come into tonight's game with 10 wins on the year following that 4-0 loss at the hands of the Panthers that ended a 2-game win streak for them. Merzlikins was terrible in that game in net for Columbus. He posted an .880 save percentage and allowed 3 goals on just, I think it was like something like 20 shots. He's been really a disappointment for them. And one of the reasons, there's no secret here, Coach. When, like I said yesterday, when you look at the top teams, yes, they have good players, but if you look at who their goaltender is, that'll help you understand why they are at the top of the league. And same rule applies for teams that are at the bottom of the league. If you look at who their goaltenders are, you'll understand why. Columbus, they're, like I said, 3-7 in their last 10 games. They're 1-6 in their last 7 games against Tampa Bay. And they're 5-1. Tampa Bay is 5-1 in their last 6 games. So to me, again, that's a recipe for victory for Tampa Bay, and I will take them to win 5-2.
Tampa Bay 5-2, Mr. ENORTAP. We know Elliott is between the pipe. One is last 6 game, by the way.
Elliott, yes, against Tarasov.
I copy you, Mr. ENORTAP. I don't want to complicate your score. I say, let's follow what Mr. ENORTAP said there.
Yeah, for sure. Let's copy. Why not? Okay, what do we have next? Dallas and Washington.
That's the first
This
one,
should
not
be a
easy.
yeah, not an easy one indeed, because as we know, Washington has been going against a lot of adversity and responding quite well. And by adversity, I mostly mean injury that's plagued the team. Um, the Stars, they pulled off a huge upset over the league's best team at that point, New Jersey, a few nights ago, and they're going to try to carry that momentum into tonight's tough road game in Washington. I think Washington's also playing with a lot of confidence lately, and part of that is the whole they've won five straight. It's all that euphoria that they're getting centered around Ovechkin, and obviously him pursuing the career goal record from Wayne Gretzky. The other night he reached his 800th goal, and that's a huge lift off their back. But usually, when something like this happens and you achieve that particular goal before the next one comes into play, there's a bit of a letdown. And I suspect that that's what's going to happen here. They have TJ Oshie has returned to their lineup, and that's created a bit of a boost for them. But, Backstrom and Wilson, even though I believe they're both skating right now, but they're still not ready to join the team just yet. Um,
Yep.
I think these two teams are very equally matched, but I think Dallas really has a lot more depth right now than Washington does, and I can see a road win here. I'm going to take Dallas to win 4-3.
All right, Mr. Natap. I don't want to complicate your life. I go 4-3.
Okay, what's next?
We have Boston versus
LA.
Lassen Kings.
Yeah, oh my. This one, I believe it's Copley. I thought it was going to be quick, but it looks like it's Copley against Swayman for this, is the last I heard. So look into that as well. Maybe we'll get some confirmation. The Bruins, like, they remain a top team in the NHL, especially after that great win over the Islanders the other night in the shootout. They'll look to carry that momentum into tonight's matchup against the Kings. Meanwhile, the Kings have lost two straight games to, I would say, inferior opponents. So they should be hungry for a win here, at least to set themselves on the right track. Like, those two games that they lost were to the Blue Jackets and the Sabres, in which they surrendered 6 goals in each of the games. So the same problem is always boiling up, and that's the fact that the goaltending has been shaky with Jonathan Quick, and we saw what happened to their backup position. Now we have Copley backing up Quick. Um, Copley hasn't really been that sharp either in my eyes. The Kings are actually more solid lately defensively, so that's good to see. But I still believe that they have to solve their goaltending situation before anything else. I think the Bruins walk away with this by a score of 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, Mr. Natap, but I add one more goal. Because you just said the goalie are not very good. So I gave you one more goal.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's all.
There we go.
Okay,
New
Philly.
Jersey.
We got
I want to know from Joseph, what's going on tonight, Mr. Joseph? Because right now you strike your team 3 times. What's going on with the Devils, Mr. Natap?
Joseph. If you're out there, I think you are. I'm going to tell you right now that streak ends tonight. Okay,
Oh,
I'll
we
give
go
you.
with the Devils
I'll
tonight.
give you. You know what? It's for Philadelphia, it's a short trip, 60 miles away to go to New Jersey, so it's not much of a travel for them. But the Devils, like I said, they've had 3 games now where they sort of fell back on their heels. But you know what? In those 3 games, Coach, they really haven't looked bad. it's just, it's hard to
Joseph said,
sustain.
Joseph sometimes said, I'm not saying anything.
Attaboy, Joseph. I'll say it for you. Don't worry. The streak ends tonight. um, I think we're looking at Hart versus Vanacek in this game. The last time I checked,
Yep, confirm.
there's no panic. There's no panic in the Devils game. I know they lost three, but like I said, it's difficult when you're playing at that level. Uh, it's hard to maintain that level consistently, especially when you play 82 games in a regular season. So, of course, they were going to regress a little bit, but I think tonight should not really pose much of a challenge. Philadelphia has been playing relatively well, although the record would not obviously indicate that. They haven't won a game since December the 5th. So it's been a bit of a time. They're struggling in all aspects of their game, starting from like low scoring, poor defense, shaky goaltending when, they were getting solid goaltending at the beginning of the year. I think there's just too much offensive power with the Devils here, and they're going to walk away with a 5-2 victory over here.
Good. About this one over there. I go with 4-2, Mr. Nota.
Oh, you didn't see the empty nickel?
No, not going to happen tonight. Like he was supposed to have one last night against Montreal, and
it didn't happen.
why is that?
By the way, that
was complicate my life at that moment. With no penalty, I think Montreal were going to remove the goaltender earlier, but it is possibly what it is. This is the game of the night, Mr. Nota.
You think, Coach? You really think so?
I don't know. That one is dangerous.
I agree. It is. It's game of the night, yet hard to really predict. I'll tell you what. Like, you got to give the Pittsburgh Penguins credit, because right now they're scorching hot. At the moment, they've won 6 straight games just in the month of December. They notched a last second goal against the Stars to emerge victorious in the game that they played each other, and that was quite an affair. It was back and forth, a lot of bad blood too between those two teams. I can't wait till they play the next time. They head into Florida here. They're playing the Panthers. The Panthers now have some significant injuries as well, whereas the Penguins are slowly starting to come back to a healthy team here. Who's missing here for the Panthers? They still have, I believe, Hornquist is still out. Radko Gudas is still out.
Yep.
Duclair, obviously, he's going to be out for quite a while. Carter Verhaeghe now is out. Colin White. And now Tkachuk. And even, if I'm not mistaken, is Lundell back or no?
I'm not sure, but Spencer Knight is still out.
Spencer Knight, right? I think even Chris Tierney's still out. So, like, now, not only do we have a team that's been very inconsistent.
Joel Canville is at the golf, by the way.
Oh, is he? I'm sure he's laughing, saying, "I'm glad I'm not there right now." It's going to be tough, and you got the goaltending situation that hasn't helped Florida either. Bobrovsky, like, it's not that he's been absolutely horrible or anything, but you expect more out of what's he making? 10 million, I think, or 10.5 million, something like that.
Yep.
For a goaltender that's supposed to be your number one, and not having Spencer Knight, like you said, is quite significant. So I think Pittsburgh will continue to be smoking hot here tonight, and it'll be a close game, but I think they'll pull it out 3-2, Pittsburgh.
Oh, low scorer, low game.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, sound good to me. Not a problem. I give a lot go with me. 5-3, Mr. Nota.
Oh wow, okay.
Yep.
That's not a bad idea.
Yep. I want to balance my score at the end of the night.
Yeah, you will probably. We'll see. Seattle and Carolina, the Hurricanes returned home after 1-0 victory over the Detroit Red Wings on Tuesday night. As you can see there, they're 16-6-6. Their record, they're sitting in second place right now in the Metro Division. They look like a Stanley Cup contending team. A huge reason for this is obviously their defensive play, which right now ranks fourth in the league, having only allowed 73 goals. A sign that this team could really struggle come playoff time, though, is what they've always suffered from, and that's a lack of scoring. Now, you could say Pacioretty's starting to skate, and when he comes back, that's going to be an added bonus. I'm not sure if Sebastian Aho is ready to go yet, or if he's still out. Do you know, Coach?
Which one? Oh, no.
Sebastian Aho.
No,
he's still
out.
So yeah, so that's gonna obviously reduce their offensive capabilities as well, because he's not only a guy that can score, he's also a great playmaker and a great defender as well. So this will be a tough game, but you know what, the Kraken, they've got off to that great start, and they've been playing some very good hockey as well. But lately, you start seeing that they're sort of, regressing a little bit. And I think this is not a good game for them to try to solve their problems against. Because if Carolina gets that early lead, I think that it's lights out for Seattle, even though they have probably more offensive weapons than Carolina does right now. So I'm going to take Carolina to win at home by score 3-2.
I nailed you on that one over there, Mr. NORTAP. But again, empty net. We want to welcome a couple of people pop up, Mr. NORTAP. A long Strider is back in the house. And if any other people pop up, we welcome you back. Don't forget, guys, click on the like. That'd be awesome. Mr. NORTAP is doing well. Luciano, I don't know if it's good news. He said we have the same pick like Coach NORTAP. So,
oh, wow. Okay. Now we got the Leafs and the Rangers.
This is the game of the night.
This is your game. Absolutely. What can you say here? The Leafs have been fantastic. Like they travel to New York, so there's strike number one, I think, on their behalf, and to play the Rangers for the first time this year. Toronto really has dominated their competition over the last 10 games they've played. They've gone 9-0-1. Of course, Mitch Marner continues to chase history here, even though he's not even at the halfway mark of what Gretzky got. But nevertheless, an absolutely fantastic, and it's not over yet, history that he's creating for himself and for the franchise. The Rangers, they've won 4 games in a row themselves, but they're going to have their hands full against one of the best teams in the NHL here. The goalies, Toronto's anyways, have combined to post 3 shutouts in their last 4 games, and they've really stood on their head. And I think that's a big reason why Toronto has won 9 out of their 10 last games. So this is going to be a big battle, because the Rangers are at home, do not want to lose this game. Toronto wants to continue their winning ways and not start on the road with this kind of a loss to the Rangers. It's going to be back and forth. I really juggled with this, but I'm going to go with the Rangers at home. And I'll tell you why, as I always say. I think we're going to see our big man, Shesterkin, showing up in spades tonight. So I'm going to take the Rangers 4-3. And I know you took Toronto.
All right. I'll go with Toronto.
You took Toronto.
4-3.
I know. I would have guessed that. That's why
Snyder was the
I
next
went
one
with the
to pop up
Rangers.
earlier. William Snyder.
Welcome, William.
Winnipeg, the Nashville.
Oh, this too has the makings of a very good game, although Nashville really hasn't played that great. But Winnipeg, They've been in some barn burners lately. I think they're playing some great hockey, but unfortunately, right now they've got a couple players injured. Number one, they really miss Ehlers there, although from you wouldn't be able to tell from the record that they have. But when this guy returns, it'll give them that much more depth. But right now they're suffering from the flu, and it's going through the entire team. And I think that kind of showed up in the last game that they played and lost in. Who was it? They lost 6-5. Just a couple nights ago. But anyways, it was a game that they probably could have won if they had that extra umph to their game, and unfortunately they didn't. When you look at the goaltending here, I'm pretty sure it's Saros against Hellebuck going up head to head. For me, it's gonna be close, but I think Winnipeg will be able to win at home. I'm gonna take them to win 4-3.
Winnipeg 4-3. All right. I go with Winnipeg 2 minutes on the top, but surprisingly, I'm going to go 4-2.
Okay.
There we go. You got this right there. There you go.
Okay, Vegas and Chicago, two teams going in opposite direction. I think this is Thompson against Soderblom, if I'm not mistaken. Vegas, they're wrapping up a short 2-game road trip here against the Hawks tonight. They lead the Pacific Division, but lately have struggled a little bit. They've gone 5-5 in their last 10 games. No big surprise why. I mean, they've had some major injuries on this team, like Jack Eichel being on the IR to start off with, but more importantly, they've had 3 of their top 6 defensemen in White Cloud, Theodore, and Pietrangelo that have been out as well, and no team can really sustain those kind of losses. So they're treading on thin water here, but you got to give them credit because players are stepping up. Chicago, on the other hand, has not things have not gone very well for them. They're struggling. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. You see their record right there in front of you. They've lost 4 in a row. They doesn't really matter whether they're at home or on the road. The result seems to always be pretty much the same thing. So I think Vegas wins this one rather easily, 4-1. I would like to see
4-1.
4-0. I would like to see 4-0 and my goalie in fantasy hockey get a shutout so I can get a little bit closer to Marco, but we'll see.
I go with 4-2, Mr. Nortap. KLS is in the house, Mr. Nortap. KLS, welcome back
Welcome.
in the house. Most of the people take Chicago on that one, Mr. Nortap. Let's move on to the next one.
Did you say they took Chicago?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we're not going to jail, Coach.
No, honestly, only 2 of them took Chicago, Mr.
Okay.
Nortap. Or maybe
Okay, that
3
makes
now.
more
Nick
sense.
is going to send out something.
Of course.
Yep.
Oh, well, who do we have next? Buffalo and Colorado. Interesting game. The Sabres, they start their Western road trip here after that 6-0, shall I say, shellacking that they put at the hands of the Kings on Tuesday night. They're currently 13-14-2 and sit 7th in the Atlantic Division. They that to me is the big surprise. I think if you look at there was an interesting stat that I saw today. They took all the NHL teams and they looked at their expected number of points that they should have at this stage and what they actually have. I don't know if I saw it in the Atlantic or not, but Buffalo was one of the more obvious ones that stood out because their expected number of points should be much higher than what they're currently at. And part of that has been goaltending. Part of it has been, problems on defense as well. It's going to take time right now. That they really have two solid defensemen, but that's where it ends for them. The Avalanche, they come into this game after that 3-2 victory over Philadelphia. They're plagued with injuries themselves, but they keep playing tough and digging in there, and next man up kind of mentality. They step up and help out the cause. They really miss guys like McKinnon and Landeskog and a few others. But we saw the other night Mikko Rantanen with the hat trick. He's up to 36 points in 27 games. And I think this is going to be a very close game, but I think Colorado at home should pull it out 4-3.
4-3, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah.
All right. I will follow you on this one, Mr. ENORTAP. I will go to this. Hey, your last game of the night.
Woo! Okay, St. Louis and Edmonton. Last year, I would have said this is more of an interesting game, but until Binnington, takes some anger
Hey, you
management
got to shoot out
classes.
last game, Mr. ENORTAP.
Okay, well, look who they played. For Edmonton,
Be careful
I'm
when you
gonna
go
say,
inside Bennington. He's going to knock your door.
I guess you're starting him tonight, are you, in your fantasy?
No, I sit both goaltender
No.
for the rest of the
Oh.
week now. I'm dominated by 30 points.
You're treating him like the Kirby Doc should be treated. Okay, I get it. You know what? With Edmonton, what we're seeing right now is, of course, what we're seeing every year. Yeah, you look at Draisaitl, you look at McDavid. They're leading the way, obviously, in every possible offensive category. But what I'm seeing is the work of Hyman. And this guy has been incredible over the last, I'd say, couple of weeks. He's stepped right in and, hasn't skipped a beat. He's given them that added scoring. You look at Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is having one of his best years. And offensively, that's where they're at. I think Campbell has played slightly better recently, but you notice who they've been going to the majority of the times, and I think even tonight, and that's Skinner. He's been facing a lot of rubber, but he's been answering the bell just about every time he goes out there. I don't think any of the losses that they've incurred have been because of him. More so poor defensive play. St. Louis, we keep saying this every time they play. This is a game that they have to win if they want to stay in the chase of things. And I think that they'll put up a very good fight here. But I think Edmonton pulls it out at the end. I can see a McDavid goal in the last minute, 4-3.
4-3 for Edmonton. All right. I go with 5-3, Mr. ENORTAP. You missed the empty net of course, Hyman.
Hyman.
Yep. That's concluded, guys. Mr. ENORTAP. By the way, you don't know, but we never got the score of Joe or the double G, right? Joe.
Double
so
J?
what I did,
Double
Mr.
J?
ENORTAP, he gave us the 12th goal. So what I score. So what I did, I took a picture and I'm going to send it to you.
Okay, I'll include.
So you can add him inside the show tomorrow. So JJ, you're going to be a part of the show tomorrow. Look, we hit the 701.
Whether you like it or
guys.
not, JJ.
There we go. We'll see what you look like at the end of the night. We hit the 701, Mr. ENORTAP. Before we leave, maybe only a quick one here. And I would like to know, what are you looking for? If I can find it, I'll be better as a good host. There you go. I got it, Mr. ENORTAP. Don't feel the pressure, but it's time.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for that Toronto-New York game. I think this is an opportunity for the Rangers to say, don't forget about us. We're in this race. And the Leafs, we're looking to see if Marner can continue that great streak that he's on.
At the end of the day, Mr. ENORTAP, we have only one game difference. The rest, we are all the same at the end of the day. So how many W are you looking for tonight?
Well, if you're asking me how many I'm looking for 12. But
I go with 9.
realistically, if I can get away with 9 or 10, that'd be fantastic.
Yep. Absolutely right about this,
Yeah.
Mr. Nata. We're going to see you in the next couple of minutes, but until then, Mr. Nata, we want to remind you, of course,
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
he did it again for 12 games tonight with some greatness. And we'll see he's going to come back with an 11-1 tomorrow night. But we have to wait until at the end of the night. Until then, my friend, we want to wish everybody be well, be healthy, finally not only dominate your day, finally with the dominate the second half. What?
You're 2022.
He did it again. An amazing, great night, Mr. Nata. I will see you a little
Good
bit
night,
later on the
Coach.
show.
Good night, Hockey Nation.
Have a good night, Mr. Nata.